Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
In the last call, we just did the reverse proxy and then we did the components of the ping federate and ping access for the authentication system. Now here we are going to do that. We'll proceed with the same steps. We have created can you go back to the Notepad++? We created the authentication requirement and we created the rules also. That is what we did in the last call. Here, this is the one. Now the next step, what we are going to do now, we need to go to the ping federate. Ping federate. We need to create a selector for that PA auth and write which. We created the rules, the authentication requirement. That one. For that we need to go to the ping federate and create a policy for a policy, and we need to create a policy for that. We need to create a policy for that. You're getting my point. Yes. Can you go to the ping federate console? In the ping federate, we did the a selector concept. In the we did the selector concept all. Here we are going to use that query parameter selector in what we did. If you remember that, yes, you are selector. Go to the authentication. Select us here. In the hand side. Now here what you're going to do. Here, create a new instance again. The query parameter selector which we create, we need to use the same thing that is known as the ACR selector. Authentication Context Request Parameter Selector. In short form a CR. Because in ping that's a ping access selector also, we can mention, you can put simple form A, CR, the short form. Oh, this is just for my own. Instance ID, maybe you can put ACR Authentication Context Request Parameter Selector. No, I think it should be going more than 33 characters. Authentication Context Request. Request select. You can put. Maybe in the instance ID you can put. Choose the type as Authentication Context Request Parameter Selector. That is request. No underscore won't work in the instance ID. Only you can put ACR, that's enough. Here in the drop down you can put requested auth and context parameter selector. That is the one. The next line. No last before one. This is the one, click on next here. Now here in this case. Now here click on next. The parameter name will automatically comes ACR underscore values. We don't need to specify any parameter name because it is coming from the ping access automatically. Click on next, only the value we need. What is the value we have given in the ping access? We have given that authentication requirement. That one we need to copy paste. You can click on next here. I'm just reading through it. Yes, we are going to add and update that attribute value. In the next line, we will be adding it. If there is no value, it will go as a no. Here we will give one value. The cell values. P10. I think you can go to the ping access. You can copy paste the same. No, I think it's in the lower case. Can you go to in the access we have created the authentication requirements in the top access in the left hand side authentication. It is the under authentication requirement. Yes, see, copy that and paste it. Then only being fair, it can understand this is coming from the ping access like that. Add it, click on next and save it. Know that authentication. No, you need to add it and then click on next and save it. Now here you can save. This is just a summary what we have given till now. Add or update authentication context attribute, which is this is what allowed us to edit those details basically. What is the overall authentication context flow? If you want a true, the next value is there. No match or not in request, that will get enabled. For example, no match attribute means, for example, let's say if there is no value, it can able to proceed for any other option also. Here, we didn't enable no match value. That means we will have only one value to be matching PA. If it is coming up, the policy will work. If it is not coming up, the policy will get failed. It will go to the next policy. If it is not coming up, if you enable that no match value means we can have another option called no option. If that value PA is not coming, means we can put another value, We can able to put it as a rule in the policy and trigger a different adapter for that purpose only. But here in ping access, we don't need that because it's only one value. We are going to use it. Got it. Now here in this kind of a concept, now we need to create a policy. Can you go to the policy? In the left hand side, create a new. Let's create another policy because we already have a policies. Maybe we can put this on, maybe ping access policy or something like that because we are using it for PA. Description also you can put it now here if you scroll down in the policy drop down. We can connect that selector. We can use that selector before all the APs. I know that's not required. No, that's not required. Scroll down. Yes, in the policy drop down, we can choose that particular. That's the idea selector which you created. Now for that one. If that particular PA ATN coming up means if PA ATN is coming up, we can choose one kind of a select, one kind of an adapter. What adapter? Maybe we can trigger HTML adapter which you create. I think we create a lot of adapters. We can create HTML form. Failure is done. Success is, I think we are using policy contract. If I'm not wrong, failure is done only. Because it's wrong credentials, we are not going to do anything else. Success, you can put in the drop down, you can choose the policy contract. In the drop down, another drop down. No, in the drop down, success drop down. There will be one more drop down. Yes, you can choose a policy contract. Choose that policy contract here. I think policy 1 we are using and click on the contract. Because we need to pass the attributes, click on next here. I think we are getting it from the yes only, subject only, to subject as adapter and username. That's all. Click on next, and that's all. Click on done and save it. That's all basically. What is this? What are we doing? We could have just selected a test form adapter in here. Which one? Oh, we are using this test form adapter only. HTML adapter for PA out there. If that value ACR underscore values is equal to PA out there, it will trigger this adapter for the user. The user will get the logins. Basically, and also in order to trigger this particular policy, we are using the policy contract. If you remember that policy contract is a bridge between the SAML connection to the policy or connection to the policy. That's why we are using the policy contract here. You're getting my point. Yes, but instead of doing it this way, couldn't we have just gone there and oh, we cannot use an adapter in the way. We cannot use that one in the ping access or here also. That is why. Basically, in the case of ping fed connecting to ping access, we have to go with the selector and the policies. Just for in the OR, we cannot just use the wrap in the OR. We cannot, no. It will get confused. If you're using multiple token manager and all it will get confused, it won't work without policy. If you use this select, we can able to understand this policy is only for ping access and we can also differentiate from the ping fed rate and ping access easily because there are certain applications. It won't go for ping access also. It will stay in ping fed rate only. We need to differentiate those things also. That we should not get confused with what are the application in ping fed, only what are the application both ping fed rate and ping access also. That's why we are using this one to differentiate the process. Got it now? If you see this policy, it is that we can understand. This is going to the ping access. It is going from the ping access to the ping fed rate action. Click on yes. Click on done now. That's all. Once you click on done, here one thing we need to do. Here there is a CDR policy which is using above than that one. Can you move that policy to the second one? Because this for this policy is having a dependency. No, you need to move the policy to the above CADR. Because this policy does not going to have anything, we can move it as number 1. It won't affect anything else. Click on save. Yes, the question that I'm asking is that between ping fed rate and ping access, we don't have any other choices. We have to go with selector based options. Exactly, there is only this selector. This is the only selector that the ACR selector. There is no other. I mean, there is an option you can map that adapter directly to the token manager if you can go to the applications and token manager there. Can you go to the applications in the top? Here in this one, access token mappings. Click on that access token mappings. Here, in this case, we are mapping the policy contract to the token manager. You can directly map the adapter also basically. Here, you don't need to create a policy. But suppose if you are having multiple token managers in the hand side, like this, I'm mapping multiple adapters means it is not. It's like it will create a confusion and it won't work properly. As I already mentioned, you need multiple adapters, you need it. If you are mapping multiple adapters to SAM connection or what configuration, you need a policies and selectors. That is why we are using the policies and selector option. Getting my point? If you are using only one adapter, that is only one. Mapping here means we don't need anything else. There is nothing here. But here the problem. Here we are mapping multiple adapters in the real time, and that is the reason we are using the policies and selector. And also if you are using the policy, contract also means you need a policy and selectors to do that. It's a regular work. And in general we use policies and selectors only. We never use adapter mapping. Directly adapter mapping and all. You can. If you want, you can use if you are using only one adapter. If there is a multi-factor adapter or multiple adapters is coming up, it's definitely. This is not the way. Policies and selectors is the proper way because it will create unnecessary confusion. And if you are having multiple 100 applications or 200 applications or 300 or 1600 application means it's like 2. It's not easy to manage at the time. You need a policy for that. That's the reason we are using a policy. Now here, I think in the pink Fed we created a policy and selected. That's fine. We already have everything set it up in the pink Fed, like access token manager is already there. Now only, we will create a client ID with authorization code grant type that one. We will do that. Go to the client ID in the left hand side clients. Let's create one client ID for ping access. That one application from ping access will connect to the ping Fed. Already we have created different client ID. This is for ping access, maybe P_AP, P1_ client or something like that we can put. This is easier to understand it. I gave the name also same client secret we can put because client secret is required for this one. We can put change the secret there. Yes, test 1 to 3 or something like that we can put. Oh, this is also, we can put scroll down. We can do the redirect. You are there. Let's put the redirect. You are a redirect to the. As of now, we need to get it from the ping access. As of now, we can put https:// your host name only. We will put it later. We will get it from the ping access. Because this redirect you will be getting from PA only. Just as of now, put your host name. Just paste it, add it. Now again, bypass authorization of will be dead. If you remember that one, bypass authorization of will, you can check that box. Yes, now obviously we can use authorization code grant type. That when we can use it, authorization code grant type, we don't need anything else. That's fine. And if a refresh token is not, because this is for ping access redirection only. These are all not required. But what happens if the session expires? Doesn't ping access need to refresh the session with another? That kind of an option is not there in the ping access to refresh the concept. That's not yet. Maybe in future it might come, but it's not yet there. Even though, if you enable the ping access, won't care about detection. The thing is that ping access is maintaining the session. Here, for example, if the access token is expired, that's fine. That's not a problem. The user will try to access the application again and they'll try the credentials. That's not a problem. Refresh token is not. That option is not there yet because we are doing authorization and all. It's better not to use it. And also it's like this is not a straight what we can say. The ping access is acting as a resource server, not the application. Ping access is providing the attributes to the application in the backend. That is the resource server. Who is the server? Who is hosting the resources in the backend? Refresh token is not required for in this use case. And even access token validation also is not required because automatically ping access will validate it. We don't need that. By using a certificate. That's why we are going to use the JWT token manager. Reference token manager, it won't work here. You need a JWT JSON web tokens. Choose the token manager as JWT in the drop-down default token manager. It is there. How does that work if ping access doesn't have the refresh token? Won't there be a session timeout? Session timeout. It will be there after session timeout again. They need to log in again. It will get logged out. The user will get logged out. Then they need to try to access it again. They will be using the seamless authentication only inside the organization network. Only problem will come after. The comes after, like what we can say when the user is trying to access from the outside organization network. Because in that case it will log out every 2 hours. Can we increase this time here for this connection? I know we can increase it, that's not a problem. But in real time, 2 hours is maximum. I mean, it's good to have it in 2 hours. You can increase up to 24 hours also. But that's like application wish only. But it's better to have it lesser time. I'm thinking that after 2 hours, if being fed and being accessed don't work, basically the connection is broken between being fed and being accessed, although the user session valid. I'm being fed. No, that's all. See, if there is something broken, means that's all it will. It won't work for anyone. The connection should have to be established every time. If there is something happened in between that 2-hour session, which it will work in between, it won't work. Because if something happened after 2 hours, I mean in between 2 hours after 2 hours, that's all basically. Again, they will try to get another token. It won't work. Because the connection has been broken. Getting my point? What is access token validation? If you remember that we are validating the token. Postman. We did 3 different calls for validating the token. To check whether the token is valid or not and get the user information from the token. Like one AP call which we did. One of the validation call is this access token validation action. Yes. And we don't know the user attributes. No, that's not required because being access. If you remember, we did YDC endpoint user info .openid to validate the token. You remember that one. Ping access, we use that one to validate it. There are 3 options. Ping access is using that user info .openid. And also ping access is using certificate automatically to validate also. I think this one we did. No access token validation. Is there that one? Even in this token validation call. This is the one. User information in the response section. And default token manager. You can choose that token manager in the dropdown. We need to use only the JWT here. JWT is the one which will work. Reference token. It won't the short token which we saw, that one. It won't work here. And also if you scroll down, you can choose the ADC policy. The first token, settings are not required. ADC. The policy is, I think. No, not that one. That's algorithm is default. It automatically takes SH2A56 only in the third option. The default option. Choose that, I think, YDC JDUT because that both of them should match. Then only the YDC call will run and save it. That's all. Now we create a client ID. This client ID secret. We need to use it in the ping access. Ping fed configuration. We have completed. We have created a client ID secret. Policy selectors and everything is done. Attributes. Also, you can see it in the token manager what variables we are passing in the token. Those are all. Everything is done. Now, we need to go to the ping access and create a configuration. In the ping access, we created a rule that's done. Authentication requirement is done. Now, which will host, if you remember, which will host on the site, who is hosting the resources. Those 2 parts. Also, it's already done. Now what you are going to do, we are going to enable the web session, the client, any client secret which we have created here. We need to use it in the ping access. Let's go ahead. Can you go to the ping access now? First, in the left-hand side, web session is the one. Whatever the client ID which you have created, we need to configure it here at the session here. What are the client ID secret? And then the authorization code, grant type and all. Everything is going to manage it here only. In the resource server, you are configuring it. What are the client ID secret you created in the ping fedit? You need to share it with the resource server. This means it's a ping access only. Instead of ping access, you are configuring it to do the authentication system. Client name you can put maybe a pp1 underscore yes web session short form us or pa underscore app underscore us like that. Is it p or? Because we are getting this from the internet. pf underscore app underscore us web session. These are all naming convention. We can put audience also same. It's a naming convention, only some kind of a unique character. Because it will create a cookie based on this name only. Suppose application is asking for a different name in the cookie. You can use that one. What is the client ID which you have created? Client underscore, app underscore app underscore client. That's the one, because that is following the authorization code and secret, what we have secret used. B. This client ID we created just now. That is a seamless. If you remember, we enabled that communication between PFF and ping access. You remember that one by uploading the certificate and all token provider and all. Well, based on that one, it's a. I just remember we created this client. We created this one, in fact, yes. Since the communication, the connection is between PF and P is enabled. The admin console connection. That is the first step we did after installing the PA. If you remember, we uploaded the certificate, we get a key pair and all we did. During that one, we established that connection. If the connection is still there, it will automatically show action. You don't need to worry about it. Let's see. Now say ABCD. A secret and all it won't sing. You need to type it, I think ABCD to 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, if you scroll down, there is a secret. Next. Can you put the secret? I think ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that we have put it. Scroll. If you scroll down. No, don't say it. We need to do some extra one setting the scopes. We need to check what are the scopes they are giving it. Can you just expand it and edit it? We just have to show one settings. We need to check the scope sectionally. Being access is expecting for any more. See that? It is expecting for 4 different scopes. Just remember the scopes address, email, phone and profile for different scopes they want from the ping fed and also enable that. That is the enable. PKC is there. Just ignore, uncheck that one because the PKC was enabled. We will uncheck it. That's not required. In the top, this profile. I don't want to see profile there. No. It's not there, we need to create. As of now, we didn't, I think. We created only email and OpenID. This goes on. All the application is asking for it. The resource server is demanding this scope section. What would be the goal? These are what you expect to receive from PingFed. I don't know, it's not from PingFed. Application in OAuth, they will expect some mandatory values to be passed in the token. For example, it's a scope email. A scope is, it's nothing, but it will define the use of the token basically. It will define the use case of the token. For example, sometimes they will ask us scope is equal to read. Scope is equal to read means we can understand the application is going to use the token for the read access. If the scope is equal to email means we can understand they are going to get only the email address from the token. They don't care about the other attributes. Suppose they are using scope is equal to open. ID means they are going to use the token. They are using the token to validate by using the OIDC endpoint. Suppose if the scope is equal to maybe application name, something like that means they are specifically using that scope to like filtering out the token to define the use. Maybe they'll be using it for specific purpose. That's why they are just understanding it in the authorization request itself. Even they are also asking, hey, ping fed, can you do this? Check also. Just make sure I'm sending this scope or not in the request. If I'm sending it, please accept it. If I'm not sending it, don't accept it like that. Getting my point? Application may develop their own application to verify the token if the scope is there or not. Maybe they will do some scrutiny based on that particular scope. That's why they will put some scope in the request, a PI call itself. And then they're asking the ping fed rate also to check if the scope is coming up. Means please accept it or don't accept it. In the starting itself, before authentication itself. Getting my point? Just to filter out some mandatory component, we can say, here they are asking for 4 different scopes. The application, the PKC method is the one step above. We can uncheck that one. That's not required. Why is it not required? It's not required. We don't need testing the ping access authentication flow. We don't need that. If you remember, we did the PKC method, the proof key for a code exchange. That is the one. If required, definitely requirements we can enable or else we will leave it, save it. That's all. But in most organizations, we don't use PKC. As of now, it's not only for specific application. Authorization code means first you will get the code, next you will get the token. The second call the token, we are using that client secret. You can see it in the screen, the secret which are using it. They are one specific application, like a single page application using the JavaScript. What happens? That is a problem of code injection. Code injection means you can legally get the code from the ping in the first call. You don't need to be an application. You can just present yourself as an application. If you call the ping fed and you can illegally get the code, injecting the code. Once you get the code, suppose the application using JavaScript. They're exposing the secret in the browser. They cannot store the secret. They cannot handle the secret as a secret itself. Some application, not every application, like 1 or 2 application out of 100. Application means 1 or 2 application. They don't have the capability to store the secret or to handle the secret. Suppose you are illegally getting the code and the application is exposing the secret also means what will happen? You will get the secret. Plus, you got the code also. Then you can request the ping fed rate to have. If I'm having the code and also I'm having a secret, can you generate a token? It means being fed will generate a token in the second call because they're verifying based on the secret. Only now you also got. If you are the hacker, sometimes you are illegally getting the code also. Then you got the secret also means what will happen? You can easily call the ping fed to get the token easily. It's a potential risk only. Suppose if that secret is being exposed. In order to work on that, the problem here, you are using the direct static secret for everyone. You are using the same secret. The PCC method we can use dynamically. That's a difference. That is what the problem dynamically means. No one cannot hack your secret and all that is not a stick code verifier We are calling it as code verifier. It's every time it will get changed. Automatically, it will get changed for each unique. And you can also ask me how being fed it will understand this is unique. That is why in the first call rate, they will add one code each challenge. Go challenge me to say encrypted version of the code, verified. That is in the second call. In the first call being fed, it will check code challenges coming in the encrypted format. They will accept it and they will keep it as and keep it as they will decrypt and then keep it as it is. Then they will verify with the code verifier and they will generate the token. Client secret. It won't be there for them. That is a PCC method coming into the picture. To overcome that code injection in the authorization normal authorization code action. That is why we are not going to use it for all the application. I'm saying under application, maybe 2 to 3 application. We can use the PCC method as of now. I'm saying because it's a new one like, for example, one of your 2 years ago. Only they have released this one. The PCC method proof key for a code exchange. PCC is done to prevent the problem. Code injection in a normal authorization code grant. For that application, who cannot store the secret in a proper way, they cannot handle the secret in a proper way. They can use this PCC method. You know the implicit grant which we did. Yes, it's a replacement of the implicit grant, the PCC method. Because they are going to remove that one in ping access. You cannot see that implicit action. Only the authorization code grant will work. Definitely in future. 2.1. What 2.2 is the latest protocol. 2.1 is going to come in 2.1. They are going to remove this implicit grant type totally from the ping federate. They already removed in other products like OKTA, Azure's SO. And they remove that implicit grant type. Now we here in ping federate and ping 1, in these two products, and all we are using still the implicit. No. If any application is asking, we are not giving it in the real time. But still, in for it is the ping access. They have removed that implicit. Previously they had it, but now they don't have it. Save it as of now. We created a web session now. Now we need to have the attributes. We are passing the attributes in the token. From the token, you need to pass the attributes to the application also. What are the attributes you are sending in the token? Maybe can you go to the ping federate? Let's see what are the attributes coming. We are sending in the token. We need to see in the token mapping site. Click on token mappings in the hand side. I think we already have that. We are using, JBooty token manager. Yes, the first one, Second one, we are using JWT with the policy contract. That one. Here we can see what are the attributes we are passing. See that if you scroll down first name, last name, mobile number in the left hand side, that is the attributes is fine, but the variable in the left hand side. In the token, the variable, only it will come. The fulfillment. First name, last name, mobile number, total 5 attributes we are sending. The same thing, you need to put it in the resource server also, in the ping access also. You need to put the same thing. That from ping access, you can pass the attributes to the application. The resource server, the server, who is hosting the resources. The same set of attributes we need to pass. Let's say, for example, the application needs more resources than just these 5. We can add it here itself. No worries on that. We have to add it here in ping federate. Yes. The ping federate is the authentication sources. Ping access. You are going to accept it. You cannot generate it. You cannot make a call to the LTAB directory directly. No, we cannot do that. That feature is not there. Ping access is not in a real time. We are not going to use it for much purposes and all. It's just for ping access. You need a ping federate to authenticate. Because in other products like Okta or like Azure and all, Microsoft and all, we don't have this kind of a ping access as a tool or as a product. Still now, you know the Oracle Access Manager. I have never worked on it. In Oracle Access in SiteMinder, do you know that policy manager or something like that? Policy manager means what you are doing there. Suppose if the application is not going to work with SAML, or what you are going to do that policy manager. That is the replacement for that. There is a replacement for that approach. Only the ping access with ping federate. Now here in this concept in the left hand side, we need a mapping site in the identity mapping set. Is there? Yes. Whatever the attributes you are passing, we need to put it to the application. How we are going to send it? The application will confirm you. There are three ways. We can send it either in a cookie or, obviously, in a header. Header is the most famous one. Obviously in a site manager. Also, you are going to send the attributes in the header format only. Everyone is sending the attributes in the header format. Let's put you can put any name you want, maybe pf underscore app underscore IAM identity mapping. Choose the type as we can send it in the request header. That's everyone. That's a universal one. Sorry, what's the obsession access token? Obsession access token means it's a client access token directly. We are passing it. The direct token, it will pass it to the application. They can decrypt it and then see that. JSON token means you can send it as a JTT token. The application can use a certificate to verify and then see it basically instead of ping access, whatever. Request data means ping access will process it and then send it in the header format. But if you're using it in the JBOT or web session access token, whatever the output the ping access is getting from the PF, it will directly pass it. You're getting my point. A ping access won't process. If you are going to authorize in the ping access, you need to use the header only because that is the one we will process and then we will send it. That's the most famous one also it's the only option. We are using it every day, but which one? The request header in the header only. We are using in the SiteMinder or Oracle Access Manager. Also, we are using this concept action. Even we don't need this big ping access at all. Basically, if you remember, in a ping federate itself, we did the we did the reference. We did the open token and all we did. That itself it's enough. You don't need the ping access also. But ping access means you can do some authorization filtering out. Those are all will be interesting. We will complete this one. After that, we will see that different authorization mechanism. Those are all like interesting topic to discuss. Just you are passing the token to the ping. Sorry, a ping, not ping the application. You cannot use the authorization and other stuff there. Why we are using header means we are going to use that process that we are going to authorize the users and all. It's a more obviously widely used one. The famous, like all the application, will prefer that. Process the token filter, get the attributes. And if you want to authorize based on that attributes, if you're coming up, means we can also use the authorization and stuff. Because we will see that we are going to use that authorization. For example, let's say the attributes we are passing based on this attributes only, we are going to do the authorization also. We'll see that option one by one. Choose the header request. No, wait. You need to choose it. And what attributes? Header name, we don't need that. We can add a row. We need to add one by one what is the attribute. I think first name is the first name or something like that we have now. It's not a subject. Only one attribute should be subject. Now let's do it. Will UID we can choose in the drop down. Choose that UID. It will show basically. I think UID only, can you go and check that? What is the name in the pink fed? We need to get the exact name and paste it here. See that I think UID good. Header, and this is getting all this information from the attribute names. Are they coming from? Being fed, only being fed. Yes, because the connection is already there. That's why it's coming up. No, I had that name. We can put. Oh, this is application only. What is the exact name they want? We can put that the header name. No, this is coming from a held up. That one you can write inside. You can ignore it. Now add another one. Add a row. I think 5 attributes. We are sending all attributes. We need to use it. I think we are using first name or something. First space name, something like that. It's coming up, yep. You can put some value, first name, header or first name. Any value you want. You can put just an application. What application they are using from their site to accept it. We need to get the same thing and put it here. Suppose they are expecting different name and you are sending different header, means it won't work, it won't match. Maybe you can put first name header or user first name, like that you can put. Now again, add a row last name. You can do the last name. It's coming up again. One more is mail address. I think only mail. And then yes, user underscore mail or something. This is a regular one, we will also use it. User underscore first name, user underscore last name. Like some application will ask like that. Mobile number, I think. Save it, that's all, basically. Now we have configured every steps. Now what we are going to? It looks like what we're doing is we're getting this information from the Yield app. Pass it to this one. And this is the token. This here, and this we're changing it to be able to pass to this one. And I can header name prefix. I get it. This will probably be very useful when we're going from SiteFinder to. Because they're in segment. Everything is pretty fixed with SM. First name will be SM underscore first name. How do I say the segment? We can go to the agent and set up the. It's the same thing. If you want to prefix with all that, that means first name _, user underscore. ID something like that. It will come. That's a prefix. What is the certificate to header mapping? If you want to add certificate also, basically like .cr format, we can also add it basically. Maybe if the application of this one, it will be helpful when you are sending in details, they want to verify. They want to trust it from their side, also means we will also send a certificate. In this one, that attributes will be much more secured, basically. and this will enter the, I don't know, it's not encrypting, it's like a signing verification sign. Like if you remember the signing the response, or signing the session, or signing the payload like that. This one. Now what we have can go to the Notepad plus the steps. Whatever the steps we have mentioned, everything is created. Just we can able to confirm it. Can I think we start the second reverse proxy with authentication? I think tool that is the one. Here in this one, can you in the top? If you scroll to the top, we have created an application. Oh, not that one. Where is it? Scroll to the top. Components in the line number 19. Components of ping. Access for this one site is already there. If you remember, we already have that IA server site configured. The virtual host is also there. We already configured for the load balancer, or like what you can say. It's a user-facing URL. We already configured it. Certificate is also there. Good. Web session. Now we have created with the client ID secret coming from the ping federator. Then the next one, identity mapping for the, what do you call, attributes. That is also done. The next one, the application with connecting all the things about. That is the last and final step. I think we already have that application. We can use the existing one if they want. Can you go to the applications? That's the last and final step. I thought we had an application. No, that is what, but we need to. Whatever we have created the web session on ID mapping, we need to add those things, then only the authentication will enable, or else it won't enable. This one, which we already created, we can use this one also. Eat it. You can change the name as with RP with auth. You can put RP underscore auth. Reverse proxy with authentication now. Why don't we just do the new one? No, we already used the virtual host. We cannot use virtual host in a different application. Once you used in one application, you cannot use the same thing in other application. The user-facing URL, that one. It's a unique one. And we can also use the local host if you want. With the create, another one means. That's fine. Here, virtual host is already there, good. Now web session. It is there in the bottom. Let's choose the web session. Again, web identity mapping the next line. That's all basically. Save and go to resources. If you remember, we added 2 to 3 resources. No, I think we need to go to the resource first. No, here itself. Spend it. What is the name? Copy that one. The redirect URL, we need to add that. One copy that URL is there. The bracket. Copy that we need to put it inside. The ping fed you remember. We just put the host name. We need to put the full value because it will generate after creating the application online. That's why can you go to the ping fed. Let's add that redirect URL. See that one. In the client ID, go to the applications and client which we have create. OAuth clients in the middle. In the redirect or in the bottom, in the middle if you scroll down. See, we need to add it here. https:// in the front. Update and save it. You are going to send the code to this endpoint. That ping access will get the code and will do the second call easily. They will get it. That's why we are using this redirect URI, and this is the ping access redirect URI only. After successful authentication, it will send the code to this endpoint. Ping access will get the code from there, and then they'll do the authentication. They will do the second call to swap the code to get the token. Then they will be like getting the token and getting the attributes and pass it to the header. This is what. Scroll down and save it. And this is only one-time setup. For each and every application, you need to create a separate client, ID and all. Owing Ping Federate. Ping Federate. Suppose in Ping Access, each and every application is asking for different resources and all. Then you need to create a separate client, ID here. For example, let's say I'm having in my organization 60 applications, around 30 to 40 applications. They are using authentication. Divest proxy with authentication. For those 30 applications, we created all the 35 to 40 client ID here. For that, others and all, we are having nearly 500 client ID. In that 500 client ID, we are using 40 to ping access also basically. Only 40 applications out of 500 are using. We are not using ping access much. Ping access, we are using it only for that reverse proxy mechanism. We are constantly most of the application. If you remember, we did the reverse reference ID and open token. We did the same migration. We have the same access manager to the ping federate only. The same thing, the exact same replica. You can have it from CSA to mainted to the PF. Because in Oracle Access Manager also we have the policy manager. We are doing it in the ping access. The header name prefix and all we did. The same exact thing in the Oracle Access Manager. Most of the applications, it's SAML auth based application normally went to the SAML auth. We are not using ping access. We are using that reference ID and open token. There are certain 60 application only. The requirement was about to go with the ping access. And also now not all the application is going to ping access. Why? Because we don't have that billing option in ping access. In my organization, they are trying to stop the ping access. Because we are having the billing issue. 1 year they are costing nearly, I think 1 million or something with that. It's like too much. The organization is feeling it's too high to use each and every product. We are already using Ping Direct. We are already using Ping Federate. Now Ping Access also means it's a next. But they're feeling it's like a too much burden. That's why they are trying to cost cut them. That's why we are trying to use only for 50 to 60 applications. Is it on the application basis? No, it's like 1 year. It's not only with an application you can do, but it's like nearly one. What we can say, $1 million they are using, they're getting. They are trying to stop the full ping access and keep only ping federate and ping directory. That's why they can reduce the cost. It's too much cost ping federate, ping directory and ping access each a $1 million. What is the alternative if you guys are not doing that? We are using it in the ping federate. There is an option. Using the reference ID. Only thing is we are missing from ping access is known as the authorization stuff. We are using it in ping access. That is the only thing. We are missing that in ping access. That is the only thing. We are using ping access for 20 to 30 applications. We are using that with authentication for authorization. Those are the application, only it's still, they're not accepting it. If they're accepting with only authentication means we will. Obviously, we will again migrate from ping access to ping federate itself. We would have stopped it like long back 1 year or 1 or 2 years before itself. It's see, everything is cost cutting there because of COVID situation and all. Ping access, we have installed I think 2022 only. But 2020-30 it's completed. That's all. Everything is there till now. I'm not doing anything in the ping access now, just maintaining it. No new applications. We are not on. We are not using it, only we are putting inside the ping federate reference ID and open token. And that is what one of our migration, that migration is also completed. Now no new applications. We are not using it in the like ping access. The existing application we already completed. If that existing application, the 30 applications that they are saying no. If they are saying yes, means automatically we would have gone back. Understood. That is, that it should be 1%. Like in 2022, there should be under 1%. They will do. We need someone suggested to go with ping access to the client. I never accepted this ping access because I know that one, it will again come back to us. There is some kind of an what we can say. There is some people they have said this is something. Ping access like that to them. It's automatically they have. It's like if they started to go with the ping access, purchase the license and we did all the migration and all. Now it's again. It's too costly. They are failing. It's like that's the first call itself. I still remember. I didn't accept this migration at all. I just said, because at the time some application already went to Pingfair itself. I didn't accept this one but later point of time. It's like someone suggested and it's like they accepted. That's why. Mostly you don't speak. You're using ping access, but you're trying to get away from it. I mean, I like we already use it, that's all. We started to use it. Why not keeping it? But I mean now, it's like management decision only. First time itself I rejected it. Then it's fine, we started using it. That's when we get used to it now. Now again going back from ping access to pingfair again. It's like another work. We need to do again. And our work is fine, but I need to contact all the application team and then change from their side. And I don't know how many issues because we face a lot of issues in the ping access migration itself. Again coming back from ping access to pingfair, it's like waste of time again. I just ask, just keep it there. Don't like upload any new application. Let it be there. Just if any application decommission, that's fine. All the applications. Decommission means we'll close the ping access and then a little bit till then because we can go with the license key like that, but they are not accepting it. Maybe next year December till we can have the time. I mean, I recently upgraded the license key. It's fine. It will be updated for next 1 year. That's not at all like from December number 30 only. We have updated it. It will be available till December 15 or something like that, another 1 year. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.